Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1. Bringing you the news tonight, I am Arundhati Mudanayaka.
And I am Hashini Patrana. Today is International Women's Day and we mark it at a time when our nation is striving to rise again. To overcome these challenges, the women of our country provide immense strength.
That's right. From the mothers who endure hardships in the distant desert lands to send home a dollar, to the women who toil under the blazing sun in the paddy fields, to the courageous women who work shoulder to shoulder in workplaces, factories and offices, and to the homemakers who, though they may not hold a formal profession, dedicate themselves to caring for their children and families while performing countless responsibilities. Their commitment to rebuilding and uplifting our motherland is truly immeasurable. We also believe that the young girls watching us today will one day take up this challenge and lead our nation toward victory and a brighter future.
On that note, let's start off tonight's bulletin with a look at your top stories.
President aims to make Sri Lanka the world's leading nation for humanity.
මොන ආර්ථික ගැටලු තිබුණත් මොන තත්ත්වයකට මේ සමාජය මුහුණ දුන්නත් මනුස්සත්වයෙන් පිරි සමාජයක් ජීවත් වෙන රට තමයි ශ්‍රී ලංකාව කියන සන්නාමය අපි මේ රට ගේනවා.
All citizens will be made equal stakeholders in economic growth, Prime Minister says while joining International Women's Day celebrations. The United States says it respects Sri Lanka's sovereignty regarding the Iranian sailors incident. 22 individuals from the vessel IRIS Dena who are receiving treatment at the Karapitia Teaching Hospital moved to the Koggala Naval Base. 10 others continue to receive medical treatment. War tensions in the Middle East escalate. Iran announces it has elected a new spiritual leader. Trump warns that the war against Iran will only end after all leaders currently in power are completely eradicated. 103 kilograms of heroin and cocaine found aboard a fishing vessel seized in southern seas. 6 suspects taken into custody. India and New Zealand face off in the ICC T20 World Cup final with hopes of rewriting history.
Starting off with our developing story for tonight, Reuters reports that a U.S. State Department spokesperson has clarified that the United States will not seek to influence Sri Lanka's handling of Iranian warships. According to the report, the U.S. acknowledges Sri Lanka's sovereignty in this regard and remains respectful of its independent stance.
Reuters reports that a spokesperson for the U.S. State Department stated that Sri Lanka must make the final decision regarding the Iranian sailors rescued from the Iranian vessels IRINS Bushehr and IRIS Dena. Reuters further reports that the United States is engaged in an ongoing dialogue with Sri Lanka regarding the matter. However, Reuters had previously reported that the U.S. informed the local authorities not to hand over the group rescued from the 2 Iranian ships back to Iran. Furthermore, it was stated that Sri Lanka should ensure that Iran is not allowed to use these sailors to enhance its public image. Meanwhile, the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command states that it rejects reports claiming that the Iranian vessel IRIS Dena, which came under U.S. attack in waters near Sri Lanka, was unarmed. They state that accordingly, it was a valid and specific military target under the law of armed conflict. They further point out that there was authorization to use force to destroy the vessel. The notice issued by the office mentions that the vessel was destroyed accordingly and Sri Lanka provided life-saving assistance to the survivors in compliance with the law of armed conflict. Meanwhile, 22 sailors who received treatment and recovered at the Karapitia hospital from the attacked vessel IRIS Dena have been sent to the Koggala Air Force Base. Recently, another 35 rescued individuals were admitted to the Galle Karapitia hospital for treatment, and it is reported that there are 10 additional individuals who are still receiving hospital treatment.
President Anurakumar Dissanayake today emphasized that the goal is to position Sri Lanka as a nation that stands at the highest level of humanity. The president further asserted that Sri Lanka has been positioned within the international community as a nation that upheld the flag of humanity during times of global conflict.
What kind of government do we have? Our government is not only recognized domestically, but also internationally. Where do we stand globally? We are a small country in terms of land. Our economy is not that of a large state. We do not have a country developed with advanced technology or equipped with powerful weapons. However, our aspiration is to build this country and position Sri Lanka as a nation that stands above all in humanity. We are gaining recognition globally. No matter what economic problems exist, no matter what challenges society faces, we will brand Sri Lanka as a nation where a society full of humanity lives. We are introducing a new brand that positions our country in the world, a humanitarian Sri Lanka.
The President shared these views today while participating in the International Women's Day celebration organized by the National People's Power. The event, themed When She Rises, the Nation Rises, was held this morning at the PD Sirasa Stadium in Colombo.
To the skies, to the earth, to the deep oceans, it is our women who have united everything. To the beautiful land, to nature, it is the women who have nurtured all creation. In caves where lions no longer roam, it is the women who protect the young cubs. When witnessing stone carvings being struck, it is the women of Sri Lanka who have shaped them. What is our intention? It is with the hope of creating a future filled with smiles for all these women who break boundaries that we are working for. We have made plans. How can we shape the future? How can we elevate the country? How can we elevate the nation as a whole? Within this entire framework, women face unique challenges. We have focused on these issues and designed plans addressing the problems that women encounter simply by being who they are.
The President also focused on the goal of eradicating the drug menace that afflicts mothers and children.
Today, the mothers of our country are in great pain. There is a danger that the drug monster is heavily preying upon our vibrant youth. One of our primary projects is the continuous launch of a mission to eradicate these deadly, poisonous drugs from our country. We will not stop until this is finished. Until we eliminate the mistrust and doubt parents have regarding their children's future, we will certainly purge this from our motherland.
Views were also expressed regarding the changes being implemented in education.
I know that the primary hope of the mothers is to provide a good education for their children. Currently, this education is a massive burden on them. We will relieve parents of the weight of their children's education. Specifically, we are introducing new educational reforms. Some people created a loud, critical outcry regarding these reforms, building a series of baseless, empty criticism. We temporarily moved the grade 6 curriculum back and started with grade 1. I assure you that from next year, we will commence these reforms starting from grade 6. Instead of an education that turns children into machines, we will establish a system that molds them into vibrant, empathetic citizens, shifting from a system that is a burden to a one that gives parents confidence in their child's future.
Ideas were also shared regarding a new mechanism to ensure economic achievements flow down to women across all levels of society.
In recent history, we have seen our mothers become the primary victims of the economic collapse. Therefore, first and foremost, we must build a strong and stable economy. So, what is our next challenge? How do we ensure the achievements gained at the high levels of the economy flow down into your lives? We have prepared several plans for this. Our objective is to create a program where the wealth earned and the economic victories achieved at the top reach our mothers and sisters in the villages. As a component of this, we have planned to establish rural parliaments.
The President further highlighted the necessity of introducing new laws regarding the protection of young girls.
The protection of our children is vital. Currently, the highest number of complaints received by the police concerns abuse, and these numbers are rising. Therefore, we must create a special program to protect our women and young girls. If existing laws are insufficient, we will draft new legislation and take every possible step to protect our children. We are working with a vision and a plan specifically targeted at rescuing groups subjected to such suffering. Certain cultures and traditions have subjected specific groups of women to particular hardships. We are focused on drafting new laws to liberate women from the oppression found within these traditions and cultures. We will do that work. We are a state that treats marginalized groups, those excluded by various cultures, with humanity and empathy, without discrimination. It is in the process of building such a state that we look toward the women and children of our country. This is a state of humanity. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri and Minister of Women and Child Affairs Saroja Savitri Paulraj, along with a large group representing the Women's Alliance of the National People's Power, also attended the event.
We represent the women of this country in every field and every space. You are the ones who stand at the forefront of this change. You set the example and provide the leadership. I take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to Comrade Anura for having the chance to work alongside such strong leadership. The courage, maturity and determination you have demonstrated in facing challenges over the past few months are not only recognized by us but also admired around the world today. It is a great source of pride for us and for our country. As women, we are proud not only because we have united under leadership we can trust, but also because we are part of a political movement capable of bringing meaningful and qualitative change. Our strength is growing day by day. However, we still have a long journey ahead. We must strengthen the economic stability that has been built in this country and move it towards sustainable economic growth. More importantly, every citizen must become an equal partner in that growth. The day we achieve that will be the day we can truly say that we have reached our goal.
Where
were the opportunities for us to see the world, shape the world and develop it? Where was the society that understood our struggles? Instead of ignoring those questions, you listened. You went to villages, listened to the voices and hearts of women and organized communities. Through that process, we witnessed a historic political transformation in our country. You played a decisive role in that change and uprising. You are the brave women who made this political transformation possible. Today, we salute your courage. You were the brave women at that crucial moment.
We assure you today that we are building a country where every woman has the ability and freedom to make decisions about her own life. Our government is committed to ensuring the protection and empowerment of women. Over the next 5 years, we will take the maximum possible steps to create a strong legal framework, implement structural reforms, and strengthen women economically through financial support and opportunities. At the same time, we will work to transform social attitudes through education, religious institutions, leadership by example, and collective commitment. Until that vision becomes reality, our journey continues. Dear sisters, your struggle must continue as well. Together we are strong. Together we can achieve it. Let's all work together.
Think about the position women held in the country in the past. There were times when serious crimes against women were ignored or trivialized. Today, we see a change, a determination to seek justice and accountability. Yet, even now, many women still feel unsafe. Even today, if I step outside my home after 6 in the evening, my mother calls me out of fear. Why is that? Because our society has seen violence, intimidation and injustice. But remember this, if it takes 100 strikes to break a black rock, the first strike is just as important as the 100th. Every effort matters. We must not allow ourselves to be crushed by the old system. Your time has come. Opportunities like this may not come again. We must use this moment wisely. We do not need just one day to celebrate women. We need all 365 days to protect and strengthen our rights. She is strength. She is love. She is the future. She is hope.
When she rises, the nation rises.
At the conclusion of the Women's Day celebration, Prime Minister Dr. Haruni Amarasurya and President Anurukumara Dissanayake received a warm and enthusiastic welcome from the women gathered at the event.
Newsfirst with the people.
Ahmad Alam al-Hoda, a member of Iran's Assembly of Experts, says that the election for the next leader has been held and the leader has been elected.
He says that now all depends on the head of the Secretariat of the Assembly of Experts, Hosseini Bushiri, who is currently responsible for publicly announcing the decision, according to the semi-official Mehr news agency.
Meanwhile, tensions in the Middle East continue to persist.
In the midst of this, US President Donald Trump claims that there will be no one left in Iran to even say that their country surrenders.
What is the current situation in Iran today? Today marks the 9th day of the escalating war in the Middle East. Overnight, the United States and Israel launched a series of strikes targeting 5 oil refineries and distribution centers across Iran. The attacks specifically targeted 4 oil storage facilities in the Tehran and Al-Baz provinces, along with a petroleum products transportation hub. Additionally, an airstrike targeted an airport in Isfahan, while Mehrabad Airport in Tehran sustained significant damage from yesterday's strikes. Israel officially claimed responsibility for these operations, stating that they utilized US-made F-14 fighter jets to degrade Iran's military capabilities. Attacks continue despite Iran's pledge to spare neighbors. Despite yesterday's statement by the Iranian president that Iran would not attack its neighbors unless provoked, fresh attacks have been reported across the region. Just hours after President Masoud Pezeshkian declared a halt to strikes on neighboring states, a social security building in Kuwait was hit. Furthermore, Iran launched a wave of 10 ballistic missiles and 2 cruise missiles targeting Qatar. While Qatar's defense systems intercepted 6 ballistic missiles and both cruise missiles, the remaining missiles reportedly fell into Qatari waters and uninhabited areas. In response, the Qatari Ministry of Defense stated that its military remains fully prepared to protect the nation's sovereignty against any external threat. Meanwhile, Israel continues its air and ground offensive in Beirut, Lebanon. A targeted strike on a hotel in the capital aimed at commanders of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, resulted in 4 deaths and approximately 10 injuries. In Bahrain, 3 individuals were injured by falling debris from an Iranian missile intercepted by air defense systems. Additionally, an Israeli airstrike on a 3-story building in Sir al-Gharbia, southern Lebanon, killed 19 people, including children. Arms trade amidst the conflict. US President Donald Trump has approved the sale of over 20,000 bombs worth $650 million to Israel, bypassing the standard congressional review process. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio cited the emergency situation in the Middle East as the justification for this rapid approval. Israel is also set to purchase an additional $298 million worth of military hardware through direct commercial deals. According to a December 2024 UN report, similar heavy weaponry has previously been used by Israel in densely populated areas of the Gaza Strip. President Trump on a new leadership for Iran. President Donald Trump visited the Dover Air Force Base in Delaware, home to the Department of Defense's largest military mortuary, to receive remains of 6 US soldiers killed in the Middle East conflict.
said you want to be involved in the selection of the next leader of Iran. Can you talk to me?
Well, because I don't want to just come back every 10 years, and mostly you'll have presidents, mostly, that won't do that because they don't get it. But we don't want to come back every 5 years or every 10 years and do this. So we want to pick a president that's not going to be leading their country into a war.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi has stressed that the law of the jungle must not be allowed to govern the world again. He made this remark while responding to a question raised by a journalist regarding the joint strikes on Iran carried out by the United States and Israel. The comment was made during a media briefing held today.
The US and Israel have again launched military strikes on Iran, and the conflict is spreading to the entire Middle East region. What is China's view on the Iran situation, and what solution does China propose?
This is an issue that everyone is concerned about. It is also the focal point in the current international situation. China's attitude is objective and impartial. We have stated our principled position on multiple occasions, which can be summarized into one key message, that is, to bring about ceasefire and end hostilities. Ancient Chinese wisdom warns that weapons are ominous tools and should not be used without discretion. Seeing the Middle East engulfed in flames, I want to say that this is a war that should not have happened. It is a war that does no one any good. The history of the Middle East tells the world time and again that force provides no solution. An armed conflict will only increase hatred and breed new crises. Once again, China calls for an immediate stop to military operations to avoid the spiraling escalation of the situation and prevent the conflict from spilling over and spreading. China is of the view that to find the right and proper solution to the issues relating to Iran and the Middle East, the following fundamental principles must be observed. First, respecting state sovereignty. Sovereignty is the cornerstone of the current international order. We believe that the sovereignty, security, and territorial integrity of Iran and all countries in the Gulf region should be respected and must not be violated. Second, rejecting the abuse of force. Might does not make right. The law of the jungle must not return and rule the world. Willful use of force does not prove one's strength. Civilians are innocent and should not be victimized. Third, non-interference in internal affairs. The people in the Middle East are the true master of the region. Middle Eastern affairs should be determined by regional countries independently. Plotting color revolution or seeking regime change will find no popular support. Fourth, promoting political settlement of hotspot issues. China always believes that peace is the most precious. All sides should return to the negotiating table as quickly as possible, resolve differences through equal dialogue, and make efforts for realizing common security. Fifth, major countries should play a constructive role and use their strength in goodwill. Another ancient Chinese adage reads, "When benevolence and justice are not practiced, the position of strength shifts." Major countries should act in the spirit of justice and righteousness and contribute more positive energy to peace and development of the Middle East. As a sincere friend and strategic partner, China stands ready to work with Middle Eastern countries to implement the Global Security Initiative and restore order to the Middle East, restore tranquility to the people, and restore peace to the world. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi further explained China's view on the situation in the region and what China expects to achieve this year in its neighborhood diplomacy.
The world is entering a period of turbulence, but Asia has managed to maintain overall stability and rapid growth, contributing over 60% of global growth in the past year. This is no easy feat, but a result of the collective efforts of China and the neighboring countries. A key factor underpinning peace and stability in the region is China's steadfast commitment to the policy on fostering an amicable, secure and prosperous neighborhood, to the principle of amity, sincerity, mutual benefit and inclusiveness, to the vision of shared future for humanity, and to open regionalism and true multilateralism.
Wang Yi also emphasized that China will never seek global hegemony and stressed the need for an equal and orderly multipolar world.
There is no doubt that China and the US have a significant impact on the world, but we should not forget there are more than 190 countries on our planet. World history has always been written by many countries together, and the future of humanity will be forged through the collective efforts of all nations. China will never take the beaten path of seeking hegemony as its strength grows. Nor do we subscribe to the logic that the world can be run by major countries. China has inscribed in its constitution that it follows an independent foreign policy and is committed to pursuing a path of peaceful development. Chinese leaders have often declared to the world that no matter how the international situation evolves and how strong China becomes, it will never seek hegemony or expansion. As for how the international landscape should evolve, China's proposal is to build an equal and orderly multipolar world. Equal means every nation, regardless of size or strength, is an equal member of the international community and can find its place and play its role in a multipolar world. Orderly means all countries should uphold the widely recognized international rules, namely the purposes and principles of the UN Charter and the basic norms of international relations. Building an equal and orderly multipolar world should be the common responsibility of all countries. With more resources and capabilities, major countries should be more generous, shoulder more responsibilities, and set an example of observing rules, honoring commitments, and upholding international law.
අයිවන් සතුටින් ඉන්නේ වයරින් කරලා වයරින් කිරුවේ ඉස්ලොන් පොලිකොන් යොදලා.
For your safety and the protection of the wires used in networking, electricity and AC wiring, S-Lawn Polygon cable trunking, suitable for white walls, prevent spread of fire, double lock technology. Ask for S-Lawn Polygon by name.
Welcome back to the news. Though graceful in nature, they work with strength and determination. This is the story about a group of courageous women delivering a remarkable service to our nation.
Women in today's society are moving forward, shattering new boundaries in every field. In our country's transport sector, a significant milestone that has garnered everyone's attention is the Sri Lanka Transport Board recruiting 18 female conductors into service. Among them are 2 university graduates.
ලෝභාත්මක රැකියාවක් මේක. විශේෂයෙන්ම පිරිමිත්තක වරුණු ගැටි ලොකු සටනක් කරන්න තියෙනවා. මොකද ගැන හිතන්නේ අමාරු කාර්යයක් නෙමෙයිද මේ කාර්යය?
කාන්තාවන් කියලා දැන් බියගුළු වෙලා පැත්තකට වෙලා ඉන්න කාලයක් නෙමෙයි මේක. ඇත්තටම ඉදිරියට ගිහිල්ලා අපේ රට වගේම අපේ ජාත්‍යන්තරයට යන්න හැකියාව අපිට ඇත්තෙන්ම තියෙනවා. අපේ මෙතනට ඇවිල්ලා මේ රාජකාරී ඉටු කිරීම තුළින් අපි ලොකු තෘප්තියක් ලබනවා.
ඇත්තටම කාන්තාවක විදිහට මේක කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපි එහෙම බෑ කියලා දෙයක් නැහැ. කාන්තාවකට ඕනිය අභියෝගයක් ජය ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක නිසා මම හිතනවා මේකත් අපිට හොඳට කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා.
This group emphasizes that women must break free from outdated mindsets and move forward.
පිරිමින් හා සමානව වැඩ කරන්න ශක්තිය තියෙන්න ඕනේ. අම්මා බලාගන්න මම මේ ජොබ් එක අනිවාර්යෙන් අල්ලගෙන ඉන්නවා කරලා.
The team also includes mothers who perform this job while caring for their children.
මට බබාලා දෙන්නෙක් සිටිනවා. කියන්නේ කාන්තාවන්ට ඕනම ජොබ් එකක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. අභියෝගයක් නැහැ කියලා තමයි මම නම් කියන්නේ.
These courageous women mentioned seeing an increased interest among other young women to enter this field after seeing them at work.
අපිට මේ වගේ තැනකදී මුණ දෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එකේ චකිතයක් තිබුණා. දැන් ඒක නැහැ. විශේෂයෙන්ම ගත්තම කාන්තා පාර්ශවය දැරියන් ලොකු ආශාවකින් ඉන්නවා අපි මෙතන රැකියාව කරන නිසා.
These women who prove that women can indeed face and conquer any situation in a challenging new world are an inspiration to us all.
The national celebration of International Women's Day was held today in Matara, presided over by Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya.
The event took place at the Rabindranath Tagore Memorial Auditorium of the University of Ruhuna.
අපි දන්නවා ගැහැණුන් බොහොමයක් විශේෂයෙන්ම පවුල්වල ඉන්න අපේ අම්මලා
We know that many women, especially the mothers in our families, do not just manage the household economy from home. We are all well aware of the immense effort they put in to contribute to it. More often than not, that labor receives no valuation and our participation goes unnoticed. However, it is a fact known to all of us that our women perform a massive service for both the family economy and the national economy. This service is rendered both through paid employment and unpaid labor, even if an economic value is not assigned to it, and even though this contribution often goes unvalued in the formal economy, women put in a tremendous amount of hard work and commitment to keep the economy moving. It is because we recognize this value and to give recognition to the hidden contribution women make to the economy that we, as the Women's Caucus of Parliament, presented and passed a proposal on the 5th of last week to establish a care economy policy. We believe this is a very significant step. Our objective is to properly recognize the contribution women make to the economy, especially the unpaid contribution toward the care economy, to integrate it as a part of the formal economy, and to create a secure system that enables women to help rebuild the economy. Transcending party politics, as female members of parliament, we were able to successfully pass that proposal.
එදා අපිට පුළුවන් වුණා ඒ යෝජනාව සම්මත කරගන්න.
Eva, a brand manufactured by ICL Brands Private Limited under the umbrella of the Capital Maharaja Group, was the national conference partner of the National Women's Day Celebration 2026. As the national partner for this year's celebrations, Eva champions the purpose-driven theme, She Moves Sri Lanka, recognizing the power of women to drive progress in the nation. Under the 2026 National Women's Day celebration, 25 female entrepreneurs from the 25 districts of Sri Lanka were felicitated for their outstanding contributions to the country. Head of Marketing of ICL Brands, Chetika Rajapaksha, attended the event representing ICL Brands Private Limited.
Meanwhile, the Samki Vanita Day of the Samki Jana Balavegya was held today to mark International Women's Day.
The event, held under the theme Let's Protect the Woman Who Builds the Nation, took place at the Nelu Pokémon Theatre in Colombo under the patronage of opposition leader Sajid Premadasa.
Under the theme, Defeat Lies, Let the Truth Prevail, the United National Party's Women's Day celebration was held today at the party headquarters Sirikota in Pitakote. The event was presided over by the party General Secretary Talawila Tukorala.
මෙරටේ කාන්තාව ශක්තිමත් කිරීමට කාන්තා බලගැන්වීමේ පනත
To empower the women of this country, the Women's Empowerment Act was presented to Parliament and passed. The primary objective of that act was to grant a legal authority to the National Women's Commission and appoint it as a highly significant body. The current Prime Minister did appoint this National Women's Commission, but there are no financial allocations for it. Even today, 2 years after Anur Kumar Dissanayake was elected President and 2 years since the Prime Minister took office, I must state that they are operating without any proper progress or means to functionally implement the National Women's Commission.
During the event, a pledge was made while lighting lamps, and a petition was signed calling for a reduction in the pressure directed toward Maitri Wickramasinghe.
More than 103 kilograms of narcotics have been seized from a multi-day fishing vessel intercepted in the deep sea towards the south of Sri Lanka.
6 suspects were apprehended yesterday along with a multi-day fishing vessel in the deep seas towards the south of Sri Lanka. The arrest was made during a special search operation conducted by the Navy. Following the arrival of the vessel at the Dikovita harbour this morning, an inspection of 92 bags found on board was initiated. As a result, authorities recovered over 102 kilograms of heroin and more than 900 grams of cocaine from the shipment. The suspects had reportedly set out to sea from the Galle Fisheries harbour 20 days ago.
We have arranged to destroy 150 kilograms of narcotics following court verdicts, with those operations set to take place in Putlam shortly. Furthermore, preparations are in place to destroy evidence from 3,100 other drug-related cases that have reached completion. Over the past year, the value of narcotics seized by the Navy and police alone, excluding airbound smuggling, exceeds 75 billion Sri Lankan rupees.
අයිවන් සතුටින් ඉන්නේ වයරින් කරලා වයරින් කිරුවේ ඉස්ලොන් පොලිකොන් යොදලා.
For your safety and the protection of the wires used in networking, electricity and AC wiring, S-Lawn Polygon cable trunking, suitable for white walls, prevent spread of fire, double lock technology. Ask for S-Lawn Polygon by name.
The special air show and exhibition marking the 75th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Air Force concluded today at the SLAF base in Ratmalana. Final day of the special air show and exhibition celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Air Force was held today at the SLAF base in Ratmalana. The event offered the public a unique chance to witness spectacular aerial displays and gain insight into the nation's aviation capabilities. Highlights included a special performance by SLAF aircraft and an exhibition featuring educational and technological display booths showcasing the Air Force's equipment and innovations. The program attracted aviation enthusiasts and families alike, providing both entertainment and an opportunity to learn about the Air Force's role in national security and technological advancement.
The Symphony Orchestra of Sri Lanka will return to the Lionel Wen Theatre on March 14th with its Heroic Spirit concert.
The Symphony Orchestra of Sri Lanka is set to take the stage again at the Lionel Wen Theatre. Under the baton of conductor Dushanti Pereira, the orchestra is set to present their Heroic Spirit concert on the 14th of March. Let's go take a look at their preparations. The concert will feature Beethoven's iconic Eroica Symphony alongside the performance of Beethoven's Piano Concerto in C major by pianist Soundary David Rodrigo.
So the next concert is on the 14th, this coming Saturday, and playing with the Symphony Orchestra of Sri Lanka is very special to me because that's where I grew up playing the violin, and having performed as soloist many years ago, I come back again, and of course under the baton of my dear friend and expert musician who I look up to, Dushanti Pereira. So it's very special to me, and of course giving out music like Beethoven is truly inspirational and soul-stirring.
The audience can expect an evening of powerful orchestral music celebrating Beethoven's heroic spirit.
Today marks the second and the final day of Sri Lanka's first ever Lanka Collector Con in Colombo, bringing Pokémon fans and collectors together for a thrilling experience.
2-day convention, which kicked off yesterday, has gathered collectors and enthusiasts from across Sri Lanka. Fans are exploring rare trading cards, memorabilia and exclusive collectibles while connecting with fellow Pokémon enthusiasts. The event also provides a platform for trading and showcasing items, making it a hub for both seasoned collectors and newcomers. Organizers say the convention has seen an exciting turnout, with attendees sharing their passion and discovering unique pieces to add to their collections. As the final day unfolds, the energy continues to build, promising more exciting exchanges, rare finds and opportunities for Pokémon fans to celebrate their hobby in a vibrant and interactive setting.
The annual March festival of the St. Anne's Shrine in Talawila, Kalpitiya, Puttalam was held today.
The annual March festival of the St. Anne's Shrine in Talawila, Kalpitiya commenced on the 1st of this month with the hoisting of the flag, followed by Novena prayers. The festive mass was celebrated under the patronage of the Bishop of the Diocese of Chilau, His Lordship Right Reverend Dr. Don Vimalasiri Jayasuriya. Following the mass, the procession of the statue of St. Anne and the blessing of the statue took place. This year as well, a vast multitude of devotees arriving from various parts of the country participated in the festival of St. Anne.
Rapper turned politician Balendra Shah has defeated the former Nepalese Prime Minister Sharma KP Oli in his parliamentary constituency as he takes a step closer to becoming Nepal's next Prime Minister. Nepal's centrist Rashtriya Swatantra Party or RSP of rapper turned politician Balendra Shah has secured a majority in the direct parliamentary elections and is heading for a landslide. Nepal's Election Commission confirmed that Shah, 35 years old, received 68,348 votes compared to Oli's 18,734 to unseat the former leader in his constituency. Thursday's general election, the first since violent youth-led protests toppled the government in September, pitted the establishment against a new generation of politicians advocating for angry, young Gen Z voters hungry for change. Shah's Rashtriya Swatantra Party is now seemingly on course to win the general election. The 35-year-old is also leading in the proportional representation vote count so far, according to the Election Commission. The final of the 2026 T20 Men's World Cup is currently underway. The clash is between the defending champions India and New Zealand. New Zealand won the toss and elected to field first. Accordingly, batting first, India posted a total of 255 runs for the loss of 5 wickets at the end of their allotted 20 overs. Now in reply innings, New Zealand is currently at 70 runs for the loss of 4 wickets at the end of their allotted 7.3 overs. And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for watching. Good night.